Hi, folks. It's me, Christiana Gaudet. It's Thursday, and that means it's time for our Tarot Topics weekly newsletter recap. Thank you so much for being here. If you happen to be watching an archive on Facebook or on YouTube, I appreciate you being here. And I want to remind you that on Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, I'm teaching a free class on YouTube. People are starting to come into the room, and I'm glad that you're here. Alexandria, Sonia, so nice to see you here. So, what else can I share with you real quick? We're doing sort of an impromptu, informal thing in the Global Tarot Circle Facebook group on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to do a short gathering for the summer solstice. I hope you'll join us for that as well, and that will be in the group. So if you are not a member of the Global Tarot Circle Facebook group, please do ask to join. We'd love to have you there. Michaela is asking when the YouTube class is. It is 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. And the name of the class is the High Priestess, the Hierophant, and the Hermit. We're going to talk about the three clergy cards of tarot and what they mean, their power, and how we can use their power in our lives. Let me say hi to some people coming in. Marion, glad to see you. Nilsa, glad you're here. Neil, glad you're here. TK, nice to see you. Lori, Martha, Laura, glad to see you. So, did you get to read the Tarot Topics Weekly newsletter this week? It comes out every Wednesday in your inbox. If you have not subscribed and would like to, or if you have not read it and would like to, just go to my website, christianagaudet.com. You can also find the newsletter on my Facebook business page right here. So, the topic for this week's newsletter actually came from a live I did here last week, where we were talking about not being so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. And the title of the newsletter, I fancied it up a little bit. And so the title of the newsletter is Offer Yourself Some Grace. You know, the bottom line, and it became very clear, I want to say it was during the Saturday Psychic Sampler last week, it became very clear that people were really hard on themselves. And so I have this theory. I feel like we should not say anything about ourselves, to ourselves or to others, about ourselves, that we wouldn't say to a friend. Sure, we need to be self-reflective. Sure, we need to see when we're in error. Sure, we need to try to correct our flaws, but we need to do it gently. We need to do it gently. Nilsa says, I have no problem treating myself kindly, a little too kindly in the eating what comforts me, right? Yeah, we're all having that problem during the COVID, for sure, for sure. But I mean, in your own head, the things you say about yourself, to yourself, the words you use to speak about who you are and what you're doing and what's going on in your life, I think a lot of times we tend to be very hard on ourselves. Now, the card that I chose to talk about this is the Star. Hey, Jeannie, nice to see you. The card that I chose to talk about this is the Star. I think the Star is a good card for offering yourself some grace, because in many ways, the Star is about welcoming hope and healing. And, you know, again, being graceful with yourself, being gracious to yourself, does not mean giving yourself a pass for every mistake you make. It means seeing the mistakes and finding your healing, availing yourself of your healing. Elizabeth, nice to see you. Sonia, nice to see you. Neil, nice to see you. So, what we're going to do today is just look at, the question, what about my relationship with myself? It might be, how can I be a better friend to myself? It might be, how am I doing in my relationship with myself? How can I offer myself some grace? This week in the newsletter, instead of sharing a tarot spread about it, I talked about ways that we could work with the cards to let the cards reflect back to us information about ourselves in a loving way. And tarot's a great tool for that. Uma, nice to see you. Kimberly, nice to see you. So, if you would like me to pull a card for you around your relationship with yourself, go ahead and ask. And Jeannie's right on it. So, Jeannie, you will be the first. Go ahead and get in line. I'll get to as many people as I have time for. Okay, Jeannie. Knight of Pentacles reversed. It feels like you are hard on yourself, feeling like you should be getting more done or doing more. Maybe that's a false narrative and you're doing things the best you can. Alexandria. The Page of Swords. So, I feel like this is all about paying attention to your own self-talk. Just what we have been talking about, to really monitor the words you say about yourself and to yourself and make sure you always do it in a kind way. We all need to do that, but this really comes up for you. Michaela, nice to see you here. It's been a while. King of Pentacles. I wonder if you have in your head other people's voices. I don't mean that in like a schizophrenic kind of clinical way. I mean that like the committee members who sit at the table who tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Maybe it's parental voices, people trying to make you bad. You need to shut those people up and tell them to sit down. Okay. Uma Elizabeth, nice to see you. The Three of Wands. Uma, you need to be telling yourself that if you want it and you can see it, you can manifest it. Know your power. Know how far you come and how far you have come, and let that show you how far you can go. Michael Wells, nice to see you. The High Priestess. Michael, I think in your relationship with yourself, you need to recognize the power of your spiritual gifts and the power of your ability to minister unto others in so many different ways. Lori Hahn. Lori, I feel like some days you get really confused about what to do or how to do it or whether you're doing right or whether you're doing wrong. And the fact is you're a very psychic person, you're a very spiritual person, but it's complex in there. Recognize your complexities, honor your mysteries, and know that it's okay. Marion, nice to see you. 10 of Pentacles. Marion, I feel like you've gotten some messaging from your family, even family who loves you and cares for you. Some messaging that has made you feel a little less than, even unintentionally. What you need to do, I think, is recognize the power of your ancestors behind you and the number of people who really want you to succeed. Even your family everyone wants you to succeed. If you could want yourself to succeed as much as everyone else does, you would be the queen right now. So there it is. Kimberly Essex, nice to see you. And thank you folks so much for your feedback. I do see it and I do appreciate it. I don't always comment on it in the interest of time, but I absolutely do appreciate it. Kimberly Essex. The Emperor. I feel like, This is not a bad card as far as being strong, being responsible, being a community builder. But I do feel like it could also represent a negative voice in your head, an inner self-critic that tells you that you can't or you won't or you will never, et cetera, et cetera. If such a thing exists in your head, make them go away. Neil, it's so nice to see you. Glad you're here. Neil, you're the second person to get this card. And again, I want to talk about family programming. And again, just because our family programs us poorly does not mean our family is bad or means bad for us or has bad intentions toward us. But it is still our responsibility to undo negative family programming. So there that is. Okay, Nilsa. Nilsa, the Empress reversed. You need to tell your inner self that you don't always have to take care of others and do for others. I mean, I know it's your job and I know you're a mother, but beyond that, you don't have to be everyone's caregiver. You don't have to be everyone's mother. You're fine just being you, and you are lovable and good just being you. Okay, Laura, nice to see you. Oh, you know what? I skipped right over Martha. Martha, I'm going to come back to you in a minute. This is for Laura. Laura, Three of Pentacles. You are fine with yourself as long as you're doing something that you feel proud of. The minute you're not doing something or haven't done something well or just learning something, then you get hard on yourself. Recognize that you should be proud of your accomplishments and you should be proud of the things you do well and of your hard work, but you should also be proud of yourself all the other times too. Okay, back to Martha. So happy to see you. Martha, the Wheel of Fortune, man. Moody, are we? I feel like there are some times when you recognize yourself as the child of God that you are, and you are at one with the world and you're great, and then the wheel turns and suddenly you're not feeling that anymore. You can't access those positive feelings. And so I think you really have to work to regulate your moods and to recognize a mood for a mood. What do I mean by that? We all have to do that. That sometimes we're allowed to be in a bad mood, and we should not judge ourselves on the basis of that mood. We should just let the mood be. And try not to take it out on other people, but try not to let a bad mood inform your world view. That's good advice for you, but for everyone. Okay, Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Seven of Wands. There's a defensive quality to this. It can be about the need to have better boundaries. It can be about, like, you have to be careful about attacking yourself. Like, you're one who really needs to watch your self-talk in terms of saying mean things to yourself. I think you need to have better boundaries with other people and not feel guilty about that, and really work to guard against negative self-talk. And again, that's all of us, but it shows up particularly for you. TK, so nice to see you. TK, Page of Swords. So you're the second person to get this. I'm going to interpret it a little differently for you, though. And what this says to me is, you've got a very good intellect. And when it comes to intellectual thinking, you do very well. But as soon as you get to emotional thinking, you can go to some dark places. Recognize that there may not be logic in going to those dark places. Okay, let's see. Hey, Joanne Keeler, nice to see you. Joanne, the Fool. So, this is one that really says you need to recognize your own journey and honor your journey. and recognize that your journey and everybody's journey can be kind of twisty-turny, and that's okay. It's all about the journey, not about the destination. Heidi, nice to see you. Heidi, the Hermit reversed. I feel like you might look to other people for your confidence and for your affirmation, and you need to also get that from yourself. Hey, Deirdre, nice to see you. Deirdre, the Queen of Pentacles reversed. You know, I get that as a sense that you often feel guilty that you should be doing more, or you should be doing this, or you should be doing that, or that you're worried that you're not going to have what you need. And I think those voices take up way too much space in your head. And again, folks, thank you for the feedback. I'm getting some excellent feedback here, and I appreciate it. Hey, Apexa, nice to see you here. The Five of Pentacles. You know, it looks like sometimes you worry that you're not going to have what you want or what you need, or that you are not good enough, that you're not good enough. And I think these worries really don't help you and are not based in fact. Okay. Okay, very good. Hey, Teresa. Teresa, so you're another moody one, aren't you? Wheel of Fortune. But I'm going to interpret it a little differently for you, that there may be for you a pessimistic voice in your head that either says bad things about you or just about what might be going to happen. Try to look on the bright side of life. And of course, I think about the end of Life of Brian, where they're, always look on the bright side of life. I recognize things don't always turn out the way we want. But I think to try to couch it with humor and positivity as much as you can will help you. Trisha. Two of Wands for you, Trisha. Do not be afraid to visualize the future you want to manifest and have faith in your ability to manifest it. Ginny Layton, it's so nice to see you. So sorry what's been going on with your husband. I've been sending prayers. I know we all have been. Let's see how you're doing with you. The moon, you're trying so hard to stay in your place of faith, but it's hard in difficult times. But you are right. As much as possible, stay in that place of faith. That is the right thing. That's the important thing. Okay, so I think I have got... Oh, Nicola, you just got in. Good to see you. Glad you're here. I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for you. What we're doing, of course, is a card having to do with your relationship with yourself. Hey, you've been working on it. Two of Cups, you have been working on finding healing there and being a better friend to yourself. Well done. Good job. We all need to do that. All right. So if I've missed anyone, please go ahead and ask now. So if you haven't read the newsletter, again, you can read it right here on my Facebook page. You can also go to my website, ChristianaGaudet.com. You can sign up so you will always receive the newsletter in your inbox, and you can read the newsletter there as well. So, what do we got going on? Of course, I am available for readings by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, Zoom. I have a Zoom class coming up at the end of the month, Psychic Tarot. Yes, Michaela, I did. TK got the Page of Swords, Page of Swords. So, sign up for my Zoom class, Psychic Tarot. It's a real practical, hands-on way of working with the cards intuitively in your own psychic development. Coming up this weekend, the official thing is at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel, Christiana Gaudet. We are doing a free class. I hope you'll join us there. And informally, in the Global Tarot Circle Facebook group, you can ask to join, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we are doing a short gathering for the solstice. We've got some fun stuff planned for that. Of course, it's dependent on technology, so we hope it works well. I'm trying to work that out right now, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, so I hope you'll be there. Again, I am available for readings. I'm available for mentorship. Wherever you are in your tarot journey, your business journey, or your journey toward personal growth, I can help you get to the next step. So, thank you so much for being here. I'll be back tomorrow with your Friday weekly wrap-up. Hope to see you again soon. Take care.